there. So I've been over at the beach a couple of days ago collecting treasures, amongst which was a lot of beautiful different types of seaweed. These were from Swansea Beach in South Wales, a fantastic beach. Very under-advertised, but really some beautiful, beautiful treasure to be found there, and these lovely weeds. And I'm going to show you how I'm going to preserve those so that I can use them. I've got a lot of stuff that I preserve like this. This is just some. These were some, last time I went to Swansea, I found, let me put it against there so you can see it. I found loads of these beautiful mermaid's purses, which are the egg sacs, I think, of skates. And I found lots and lots and lots last time. And these are preserved because, as you'll know, if you collect sea treasures, once, I'll put it here because you can see it against my skin, look. It's no good against my dress. There we are, I'll have it, I'll wear it on my chest. Oh, God, that looks a bit spooky. As you'll know, when these dry, normally they go all crispy and they're really not beautiful and they're not much use either. You know, the same with this, which is a little weed that's come off a rock. I didn't pull the, oh, look, this one's got loads of little bits attached to it. So these are fascinating, but you need a way. Look at that skate purse. I'll have to look them up. They're all different types. That one might show against mine, it's too far away. But they're beautiful. I'll have to look at what they all are. So you can, oh, Lynn, just in case you are watching, this is an Icelandic cyprine. I've got two in here. We didn't find any. We didn't actually find any on the day. But that's treasure hunting for you, isn't it? It's always different things, different days. So I've got those. I've also got loads of other stuff you can preserve in glycerine. I've got quite a few boxes like this full of things. I've got these. I've actually then coloured with some gold metallic paste, but these are sycamore keys. I've got poppy seed heads, and obviously you can just dry these, but once you've got them in glycerine, they keep some of the softness of the original plant, and they don't deteriorate. This one is a seed pod from a peony. Now I know that doesn't look very exciting like that, but it is actually. Can I get that so that you can see the inside somehow? It's all sorts of beautiful patterns in there, and this is so soft I can use it for printing. I've got these gorgeous things. These are actually mature leaves from a eucalyptus tree. I believe they are, but these are beautiful inside, and I've printed with these before. You find one that's actually open like that. These make fabulous prints. So it's a really good way of preserving things, and you can actually preserve quite spiky things like that. That's a Mahonia seed head, and also some quite dramatically large things. So this, it wants sorting out a bit, but this is from a chestnut tree by the looks of it, and seed heads. So I'll have found this somewhere when I was walking around. I thought, oh, that's beautiful. And I wanted to keep it as a whole piece. Now these all need sorting out, but as you can see, they're soft. So this is soft. It's not crisp like when you've just pressed it. These are still soft. And if I wanted to, I could, and will, when I come to use this at some point in my creative life, I can pull these to get them back open and back in shape. And I could print these leaves, but I rather like this as a whole thing. What I need to find here is where is its branch, and then get these. You see, these were hanging. I pulled one off. These were hanging down. And that's good, isn't it? These were hanging down. So you can, I mean, we've even got things like a whole pine cone. I don't know why I preserved that, to be honest with you, but I did. There's half a poppy seed head, also preserved, beautiful for printing, because I can pick up all that pattern inside. So all sorts of options in here. I have just seen, there we are, there's a piece of seaweed, and you can see it's kept that softness and shape that it has when it's fresh. So let's have a look at how to do that. Oh, and I'll just quickly show you, I've just got here a few fabrics that I've printed, because the reason I'm doing these is in preparation for my breakdown printing workshop, because I actually want to make some breakdown screens with this seaweed because I think they'll be beautiful. I did one once before very quickly. This was some of the printing I got from it. I unfortunately lost quite a lot of dye on here because I think I was teaching. I don't think I pre-soaked this fabric. And then I've gone and washed it, but you can see there's quite a lot stayed on. So these were prints. This was breakdown printing with a piece of seaweed. You can sort of see here the shape of the weed coming up. It was quite a big piece. Everything's back to front for me, but you can see it coming up here. This was one done with, these are some of my favourite breakdown prints. These were done with marram grass. I've done a set of 3 on here. Again, all breakdown prints. This one is one of the ones done with, it's a very light one, but done with the mermaid's purses. And I think if I hold that up close, you can see the mermaid's purse shapes in there, can't you? So they do make, that's another mermaid's purse one. That was one of my favourites actually, was the mermaid's purses. That made a really beautiful breakdown screen. And unfortunately, 4 of the bits of fabric that I did just about washed out. But hey, I'll be doing it again. And this one this was a fabulous print because this I had got pre-soaked fabric, so I didn't lose any dye intensity this time. And these were done, you can tell I've got pre-soaked fabrics. I've also got a bit of scorching, but it's mostly dye because the dye was in brown. But these are also breakdown prints of a large fern, and actually the leaves preserved, and the seaweed and the marram grass and anything else preserved in glycerin are easy to use like that because they've got some softness and strength. So it's a really good thing to do. I've also picked up, if I can fit them in, these from the garden just now. Most of my hostas seem to do pretty well. They don't get attacked by the snails, but this particular variety has been well and truly munched. And I think these leaves are actually rather beautiful like this. But I could do with keeping them soft so that I can get them flat without damaging them. So these are fresh, and I'm going to put those in too. So what I've got is a big box of seaweed. I've got all sorts of different types in here. That's a similar one to the one I just showed you. They don't half smell of the sea. I've got some big, that's just going to be fabulous. These are going to make the most stunning breakdown screens. I just know they are. And I could also use these on my jelly plate as well if I wanted to print them that way. Excuse me. Got an itchy nose. I don't want to put seaweed up it. But all sorts of different types and shapes in here. It was a really good seaweed day. I did get one baby mermaid's purse, but it wasn't a good mermaid's purse day, but it was a good seaweed day. This one is actually giving off some sort of greasiness itself, whatever this one is. You can, those are interesting. Look, I thought those were stuff sitting on top, but it's got bubbles sitting on the surface of it. So this is a big flat one. And it's also got a fair bit of Swansea mud, because as the tide goes out, the mud appears. And I don't mind putting my feet in the mud at all, so I wade out to see what there is out there, and this one's got mud stuck on it. Now I could scrape all this off, but I actually think it's quite characteristic of the beach it came from, so I'm happy for that to stay on there. So I've got a really good collection of different sizes and shapes and patterns. Some, even excuse me, even a little fine one like this, I've preserved. I don't know where those are actually, but I've preserved these before, and they're absolutely beautiful when they're preserved. They're really gorgeous. So what I want to, look at that boy. Sorry, I won't go through the whole tray, but look at the big bubbles on there. These are going to make really interesting prints. So what you need is you need a couple of containers. I've got cat litter trays that are the same size. I want one to fit inside the other. You need water. I feel like I'm doing a cookery program here. You need water, and you need glycerin. I've got vegetable glycerin that I just buy in 5-litre bottles because I use quite a lot. Excuse me. And once this is done, they'll basically last, I don't know about forever, but they'll certainly last for as long as I need them to. I've got things many years old preserved in glycerin that are still fine. So I'm just going to put all of these. They are in a cat litter tray, but that is not a cat litter tray that fits as well with this other one. So I'm just going to put them in here. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to get all of these into one bath. I have, ooh, that's a pretty one. Look at that. Look at that. I have got myself a bit carried away with the amount I've collected here. Let's just see. You can do one round, and then when that's taken out, there will still be glycerin left in your water. You can do another tray full. I think probably with these, let's just see how high they come up, because I did get carried away, didn't I? But it was exciting. It was really exciting. There was some really good seaweed, really good seaweed. Let's just see how deep. Oh, I love that one. That's almost like sycamore keys on the end. Can you see that shape? I love the way that nature repeats itself so often. You know, the similar shapes. I reckon God, when he was inventing it all, obviously, you know, he had some really brilliant ideas, and he thought, oh, I'll do that again. Now this one, I doubt very much I doubt it's going to preserve. It's some sort of sea lettuce, I think, and it's so fine. I'm amazed I picked it up. It must have been dried when I picked it up. I'm going to put it in because you never know, but I doubt it. See, that's a nice one. That one's got the bottom where it's been attached to a rock on, which I've been told what that's called, and I've forgotten all over again. And this one, look, it's got loads of little bits of something attached to it. That's going to make interesting prints, all that texture. They're all going to go in here. It's just going to be, it's whether there's going to be enough room. Oh, there's a bit of wood there. That's interesting. I'll stick that in. We'll preserve that too. Why not? Why not? So that's all my bits in. I was going to see, because what I need is to be able to get them all underwater. Well, I've got so many here. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to be able to, but I'm going to try. I'm going to try, in for a penny, in for a pound. I don't know why I have to get a cough as soon as I come online, but obviously I do. Right, so those are in there. Now what I need to do is cover this. And the mixture I need is a 2-to-1 mix of glycerin and water. So I want 2 parts water for 1 part glycerin. So what I just think these are maybe going to be too close together. No, they're not. Stop fussing, hurry. So I'm going to, let me see what this is. This is 2 litres of water. So I'm going to put that in first. Okay. And see, what I'm looking for is for it to be nearly covered. And that hasn't done it. So I'm going to put in another litre. Okay, I don't want much more than that in there in terms of the water, otherwise I think I'm going to manure spill. So I'm now going to put, so I've got 3 litres of water in here. So I'm going to put 1.5 litres of glycerin in, and we'll see where we get to, because that gives me my 2-to-1 mix. So it's thick and gloopy, as you can see. Very nice for your hands. I'm not very accurate with things, but this will be near enough. So I'm going to pour that on. So that's my first litre. Just scoop it out a bit. And get that mixed in. And will another 1/2 litre get these under? Oh, do you know? It just might actually. I think it might. So another 1/2 litre, roughly. I'll give it a fat half. I'll give it a fat half, because there'll be some left in my jug. And I could get some more water into there. I've actually got a glass of water. I'll have my drink first, just to help get that glycerin out of my jug. You might as well have it. It's not going to do your hands any harm at all. You don't need barrier creams or anything with this. In fact, it's going to do them good. Glycerin's in soap. And it's, you can feel it's greasy and soft. And I'm just mixing it around so that it's not sitting in globules. I want to mix it into the water. You could mix it with the water first. Trouble is that way is you've got to guess how much you need. And I don't like wasting anything. So this way I can sort of work out just I'm so tempted to squeeze that and pop it. Oh, oh, oh! I know you will not have seen that, but go on. It's squirting out water. So easily pleased, easily excited me. Okay, so that is all under there quite nicely, and I even think I can just get my hosta leaves in there as well. Okay, so hopefully you can see that's all, when I push it, it's all underwater. So that's what the second tray is for. We might as well have that bit of water as well. And then this tray fits on there. And I'm just gonna, you just want it to hold and keep that underneath. So I'm probably gonna need, you know, even something like that is probably heavy enough. Just go a bit careful when you're weighting it, because if you do it too much, it's all going to come out. Especially I've got a very full, that's about right. That's got the water up about as high as I want it. Excuse me. And I can sort of see on the edges here that my water's up high, everything's underneath. So I now just need to sideline that and leave it for 48 hours, okay? And in 48 hours, all that plant matter will have taken up the glycerin and into its cells, and it will then, I can then take it out and dry, and I will end up with pieces like this, which are soft but dry, so that I can use them for whatever I want to use them, you know. So all my seaweed is going to come out in a usable form like this, so that I can use it for printing and setting up my screens. The other thing, just out of interest, because some of you watching will be doing this course, I'm going to set up as a breakdown screen are some of these feathers. I mean, they're one of my obsessions of feathers, particularly black and white ones, which I see as my guardians, dark guardians and light guardians. These, I've washed all of these same beach trip. I mean, normally Swansea Beach does not have many feathers. I hit lucky, turn away if you're a bit squeamish, but there was a couple of dead seagulls on the beach. And there's no point denying that I did go and pluck some of their feathers, just some of the really big multicoloured ones like this that I just think are really beautiful. I don't know which ones they were, but I had about 3 or 4 off each. They were already dead, so I mean, I just feel I'm honouring their life. So these are all washed so that they're not going to be smelly. They will dry, and then their fronds, whatever you call these bits, will all be back soft again. And I'm going to set up, and I got loads and loads of white feathers, which are my guardian angels. And then I only got one, but I did get a black feather, which is my dark guardian. So, you know, that was pretty good. Those are symbolic for me, and I will use these little black and white feathers as they are. But all the others, I will use some of these to set up a screen, which I've not done a breakdown screen using these before. So that should be quite exciting. And I do like to, when I teach, do some new things each time. Just to encourage, I suppose, students to feel that it's okay to experiment and see what happens. You know, there aren't really rules. You know, get a few basics, a few basic techniques down, and then once you've understood that bit, just try things and see. So I'm quite excited to see how these will come out. So I hope that's been helpful. I will mark this up as preserving in glycerin so that you can find it in the future, because it's one of those things you will undoubtedly forget. And do, when you're out and about, look out for gorgeous nature things to preserve and use for printing in your artwork. I'll talk to you all soon. Bye now. Bye.